Yo, I don't even know you and I hate you. See, all I know is that my girlfriend used to date you. How would you feel if she held you down and raped you? Tried and tried, but she never could escape you. She was in love, and I'd ask her how. I mean, why? What kind of love from a would black your eye? What kind of love from a every night make you cry? What kind of love from a make you wish he would die? I mean, he bought you things and gave you diamond rings, but them things wasn't worth none of the pain that he brings, and you stayed. What made you fall for him? That had the power to make you crawl for him. I thought you was a doctor, be on call for him. Smacked you down cause he said you was too tall for him. That wasn't love, baby girl, you was dreaming. I could've killed you when you said your seed was growing from his seed.
Love is mine, love is mine, baby. It will take over your mind. Yes, it will. What you think is love may truly not be. No. You need to elevate and find.
I don't even know you and I kill you myself. You played with her like a doll and put her back on the shelf. Wouldn't let her go to school and better herself. She had a baby by you. You ain't giving no help, big time hustler, snake mother. One's born every day, and every day she was your sucker. How could you beat the mother of your kids? How could you tell her that you love her? Don't give a fuck if she lived. She told me she would leave you. I admit it, she did, but came back, made up a lie about you missing your kids. Sweet kisses, baby ain't even know she was your mistress. Had to deal with fist fights and phone calls from your lost like you possessed her, telling me to mind my business, that it was her life and stay the fuck out of it. I tried and said just for him I keep a ready clip.
No. Love is blind, love is blind, love is blind. It will take over your mind. Oh yes it will. What you think is love may truly not be. No.
Know you and I want you dead. Don't know the facts, but I saw the blood pour from her head. See, I lay down beside her in the hospital bed, and about 2 hours later, doctor said she was dead. Had the nerve to show up at her mother's house the next day to come and pay your respect and help the family pray. Even knelt down on one knee and let a tear drop. And before you had a chance to get up, you heard my gun cock. Praying to me now, I ain't God, but I pretend I ain't thought you like it. I'ma bring it to an end, and I did. Clear shots and no regrets. Never cops come and lock me under the jail. No whatever my sister, you can never figure out. Even if I let you live, what our love was all about. I consider her my blood, and it ain't come no thicker.
Love is blind, love is blind. I just know love is blind. It will take over your mind. What you think is love may truly not be. Gonna take over your mind. To elevate and find. Love is blind, love is blind. It will take over your mind.
Steps off, baby. This ain't just a vibe, it's a sanctuary. You just walked into the Love Palace. Welcome to a daily dose of Dee. Wrap yourself in satin, truth. This love ain't rushed, it's velvet smooth. Silk on your spirit, rose in your mouth. Let me show you what healing's really about. Ooh, she don't play with pleasure, nah. Only pours it where it's earned. Let it burn slow. A daily dose of Dee. Let the love run deep and free. One touch and you'll believe. She's the calm, she's the heat, she's the peace you need. Here in the Love Palace, where even broken ships sail smooth. Anchor down, baby, daily dose of Dee. Your your prescription to feel seen. No refills, just show up and receive. Let your ships drift into healing seas. We don't chase waves, we ride them. She don't beg, she just glows.
Some bruises live on the skin, and some bruises hide behind a smile. Some people ask, why didn't they leave? Instead of asking, why did someone choose to hurt them? Love should never require survival. Love should never make you afraid to speak, afraid to laugh, afraid to exist. Hands were created to comfort, not to control. Voices were created to encourage, not to destroy. Today, we're not judging, we're learning. We're not blaming, we are listening, because every scar has a story, and every story deserves compassion. If this conversation helps even one person realize they deserve peace instead of pain, then today our voices have purpose. Welcome to Daily Dose of Dee. We talk about physical abuse. Welcome to another episode of Daily Dose of Dee. Before I begin today's discussion, I want to give a loving disclaimer. Today's topic is physical abuse, and parts of this conversation may be emotionally difficult for some viewers. If you have experienced abuse or are currently living in an abusive situation, please know that you are not alone. This episode is meant to educate, encourage, and empower, not to shame or judge anyone. So please take care of yourself while listening. And if you need to pause and come back later, that's okay as well. Your emotional well-being matters. And today's conversation is about awareness, healing, and hope. Someone may hear today's episode while sitting in the car after an argument with their partner. This information shared could help them recognize the warning signs they never noticed before. Thank you and welcome. Grand rising, grand afternoon, or grand evening, depending on what time of day you're watching Daily Dose of Dee. I am your host, GoddessDee of Love. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. We are at Thursday. A lot of people have a short week and they're off tomorrow because it's Independence Day. So we're going to get right into this today on this Thursday. And over here, we're going to say it's Happy Time to Talk Thursday, because it's time to talk about some things, okay? So with that being said, we're going to get into the word of the day. And the word of the day is abuse, corrupt practice or custom, improper or excessive use or treatment, language that condemns or vilifies, to put to a wrong or bad use, to treat as to incur, maltreat, or maltreat. And let's not forget the quote of the day today on this Time to Talk Thursday. The scars you can't see are the hardest to heal. Once again, I want to thank and welcome everybody to come into Daily Dose of Dee today. If you're new here, welcome. And for those that are my loyal supporters, thank you for still joining me. Today, I'm talking about something many people avoid because it makes them feel uncomfortable, and that's understandable. I'm talking about physical abuse. Abuse happens in every race, every culture, no matter what income level you are, the age group, or even your neighborhood. It doesn't only happen behind closed doors in places where people expect. Sometimes it happens in these big old, nice, beautiful homes, successful families, and relationships that appear to be perfect on social media or TV. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain to understand what physical abuse really looks like and why healing begins with truth. A couple can post smiling pictures on vacations, while behind the scenes, one partner is living in fear every day. When we're talking about recognizing unhealthy relationships, remember that healing begins with awareness. And here at the Love Palace, we believe everyone deserves relationships that are built on respect, trust, and peace. So let's continue learning together because knowledge has the power to change life. So let's get into this word abuse, the definition and the origin and the root. You guys know how I like to do this at Daily Dose of Dee, okay? Before I get into the meat and the potato of the conversation. The word abuse means to treat a person with cruelty, violence, or repeated harm. It comes from the Latin word abus, meaning to misuse or to use wrongly. And at its root, abuse is about the misuse of power. Physical abuse isn't about love. It isn't about passion. It's about one person fearing and using fear and violence to control another person. Someone throws their partner's phone across the room because they don't want them talking to their friends or family. So, I gave the definition of abuse. Now I'm going to go into what physical abuse is. Physical abuse is an intentional act that causes bodily harm or physical pain. This includes hitting, slapping, poaching, punching, kicking, choking, pulling hair, resisting someone against their will, maybe even throwing objects or preventing someone from leaving a room. Physical abuse escalates over time. What begins as someone's grabbing an arm during an argument can eventually become life threatening violence. During an argument over money, one partner blocks the doorway so they can not leave, then shoves them into the wall. That is a modern day example of physical abuse. See, here at the Love Palace, we talk about these difficult conversations that people don't like to talk about. But as I stated at the beginning, it's all about awareness and healing. Relationships to make you feel safe, not scared. If today's conversation is helping you recognize unhealthy behaviors, share this episode with somebody you love. Because sometimes education is the first step toward healing. And I'll be right back right after these messages to continue this conversation about physical abuse, unhealthy relationships.
Physical abuse is not normal. It's just that sometimes it gets normalized because the verbal and emotional abuse had become so common that by the time the physical abuse showed up, it was as familiar with you as you were with the idea of abuse, perversion, and exploitation, not only being normal, but even expected. But regardless of what they say to keep you silent, fearful of speaking up, or afraid of leaving, it does not change the fact that it's not normal. And by any means necessary, you should get away from that person as soon as possible.
Welcome to Holistic Royalty by Kells, where peace, holistic wellness is designed with you in mind.
You are just in time. It's time for meditation and yoga class. Follow me. My name is Queen Kells, and I am a certified yoga instructor specializing in Hatha Yoga, a practice of self-transformation using postures and breathing to focus the mind and body. It is a slower, more meditative practice where poses are held for longer periods. Before we start, allow me to guide you into today's meditation. Tune into Holistic Royalty by Kells on Mondays and Fridays for meditation and yoga, 11 a.m. EST.
From bed yoga to the chair, introducing chair yoga, an alternative to traditional floor yoga. Listen as I guide you through the steps for a well-balanced part of your day. This and more are available here at Holistic Royalty by Kells. Remember to hit that notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back, Love Palace family. Welcome back. Now, tomorrow's Friday, and you know that Holistic Royalty by Kells does that lovely meditation and chair yoga for you to help you relax. So, if you have not subscribed, her link is being dropped in the chat as we speak. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button and notification button so you don't miss the meditation and yoga and anything else that Holistic Royalty will be doing on her page. So let's go and continue this conversation about breaking the silence together. Many, let me put my little disclaimer up, y'all. I want to make sure people know that I really care and it's not for jokes, okay? Put that up so you have that warning, okay? So many people, right, excuse me, in abusive relationships, they don't begin with violence. It doesn't begin that way. They often begin with excessive affection. The constant texting, the very extravagant and expensive gift, and making someone feel like they're the center of the universe. Over time, control slowly replaces kindness, and jealousy becomes love. Isolation becomes protection, and criticism becomes helping you improve. Before the physical violence ever happens, emotional control usually comes first. It looks like a partner that says, I don't trust your friend, and then eventually demands your passwords and tells you who you can and cannot see. Yes, physical abuse doesn't only affect women. Because I know in today's society and growing up and things we thought about the women, we don't ever think that it affects the men, but it affects the men too. Many male survivors remain silent because society tells them they should be strong enough to defend themselves. Some fear being laughed at or not even believed, or even losing custody of their children if they're involved in a relationship like this. Abuse against men deserves the same compassion and support. Let me say that again. Physical abuse against men deserves the same compassion and support. Violence is wrong regardless of who the victim is. It could look like a husband who's repeatedly slapped and scratched during arguments, but he doesn't tell anyone because he fears people will think he's weak or you being a coward or other obscene names. Healing has no gender. Everyone deserves safety, respect, and compassion. And if today's conversation speaks to you, continue this conversation with someone you trust. So let's keep learning right now without judgment, okay, family? Now let me give you some statistics about men versus women and this physical abuse. Studies consistently show that abuse is a widespread issue. About 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men experience severe physical violence from an intimate partner during their lifetime. Millions of people are treated every year, yet many cases are never reported because of fear, shame, financial dependency, or concern for the children. The true number is probably a little bit more higher, just to be honest. A coworker misses work several times after falling down the stairs, but in reality, they're covering up injuries caused by a partner. You see, people often ask, why don't they just leave? Don't you hear that? Why don't you just leave? But the better question is, what makes leaving so difficult? Many survivors stay because they love the person and they hope that they'll change, and they fear of being unalive if they leave. And they have children together. They use that excuse. We have children together. We got to make this work. Or the lack of financial resources, where one person in the relationship makes the money, is the breadwinner, so they feel if they leave, they don't know what they're going to do. Or they feel they have nowhere safe to go and have been emotionally broken down until they believe they deserve the abuse. It's like a mother who stays because she can't afford rent on her own, or maybe has never even worked before, and worries that her children will become, or herself will become, homeless. That can apply to the men as well. Every story is different, Love Palace family. Compassion changes lives more than criticism ever will. And continuing to share awareness becomes because someone may need these words today. I'm going to go continue with this conversation right after these messages. And if you are inclined, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because this is where we talk about the conversations that people don't like to have, but it's the truth. And as I mentioned, and I'm going to say throughout this live, it's all about awareness and healing. So if you're inclined, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll be right back after these messages.
However, this idea that a man has to stand there while a woman is hitting him with a barrage of fists, kicks, bites, everything you could think of, even to the point where she's picking up inanimate objects, hurling them at you that could cause physical damage. No man should have to stand there and just be beaten up simply because he's a man. That is ridiculous. And I feel like, I genuinely feel this way, and I'm not saying all the women think this way, but I feel like there's a portion of women that want us men to be trained and socialized to never get physical with them under any circumstances so that they can be abusers without any repercussions.
We bring the light higher. Fire in the rhythm, heat in the sound. COC energy shaking the ground.
Welcome back, Love Palace family. So listen here. Thank you for returning. I just want to say this to you. If you're looking for guidance to rediscover your strength and clarity, go and follow the Love Palace on Instagram and go ahead and check me out there. And you can go ahead and book a section with me as well, a session. Because I want you to remember, everyone has a superpower. You just have to look inside and find yours. So now, excuse me, that information will be dropped in the chat as well. So let's continue breaking down this silence together. See, there's an invisible thread or invisible line when it comes to this physical abuse. And that's the trauma bond. It's the emotional attachment that forms between an abusive behavior and the person being abused through repeated cycles of fear, pain, apology, affection, and hope. The brain begins confusing moments of kindness with safety, making it incredibly difficult to leave. The highs feel higher because the lows are so painful. It's like after a violent incident, the abusing partner cries, buys flowers or gifts, promises that they're going to go to counseling, and behaves lovely for several weeks before the violence happens again. You see, there's 4 phases of this abusive cycle. And the abusive cycle is something that happens a lot. There's 4 of these. The first one is going to be the tension building phase. This is when the arguments and the criticism and the emotional pressure all begin to increase. Then after that, the second phase. This is the incident when the physical violence actually occurs. Third is that reconciliation, often called the honeymoon phase, right? Where there's apologies, extravagant gifts, and promises are made. And finally comes the calm phase, right? When things seem peaceful until tension slowly begins building again. Without intervention, this cycle usually repeats and often becomes more severe over time. This looks like after every violent argument, the couple enjoys some nice, very peaceful weeks together, leading the survivor to believe everything is okay. Things are finally changing and looking up. But awareness helps us recognize unhealthy patterns before they become lifelong cycles. Continue to choose education over silence. Together, we're a shining light where darkness only existed. So, why is leaving? It's not that simple. Because I mean, I'm one of the ones that said that too, and I said it earlier. People say, is you should be able to leave. But why isn't it that simple for those that are in these situations? Because leaving an abusive relationship is often the most dangerous time. Because many abusive partners increase their violence when they realize they're losing control. Survivors, may need to get legal protection, emergency housing. They need to financially plan, counseling, and the support of the community before they can safely leave. Safety planning saves lives. So it looks like after ending the relationship, an abusive partner repeatedly appears at a person's workplace or sends hundreds of threatening messages. hmm Become like a stalker. People often say, I would never let someone treat me like that. The truth is, abuse doesn't begin with violence. Let me say that again, Love Palace family. The truth is, abuse doesn't begin with violence. It develops gradually through manipulation, isolation, fear, and emotional conditioning. Saying staying isn't weakness, surviving isn't weakness. Healing requires incredible strength, and asking for help is one of the bravest things anyone can do. An independent business owner slowly becomes isolated from family and friends until they're no longer recognize how much control their partner has over their life. Your story doesn't end with what happened. Healing begins the moment you believe you deserve something better. Let me say that again. Healing begins the moment you believe something better. So let's continue on while I end this conversation, close this conversation out, okay? Breaking the cycle begins by recognizing that abuse is not your fault. It's not your fault. So tell someone you trust. Document incidents if it's safe to do so, and create a safety plan. Reach out to trained professionals or your local support services. Healing begins when one courageous decision at a time. Every small step matters. Sometimes, quietly, someone, let me let me get this together. Someone quietly begins gathering your important information, your documents, your birth certificate, your social security, any other legal papers you may need. You have some emergency money that you've been saving and putting aside, and speaking with a trusted person before making plans to leave safely and knowing that you have a place of safety. So, how do you start healing? How do you start healing if you're in this situation? Because it's not going to happen overnight, but it does happen. That's where the great thing about this is. It begins with believing that you deserve peace. Yes, if you're in this situation of physical abuse or any abuse, know that you deserve peace. There's therapy, there's support groups, there's trusted family members, there's spiritual guidance and healthy friendships. And learning to rebuild confidence all becomes part of the healing journey. The goal isn't simply leaving abuse, the goal is learning to live without fear and creating a future filled with healthy love. If you're a survivor, begin counseling. It's going to reconnect you with supportive people and people that are in your corner. Start journaling and slowly realize they're no longer, that you're no longer afraid to wake up each morning, and you wake up with gratitude and knowing that you're becoming new and you are a survivor and you are healing. I'll be right with you. I'm going to give you a little bit of some encouraging words, okay? One moment. Okay, Love Palace family, excuse me, clearing my throat to give you this loving closing remarks, okay? If no one has told you today, let me be the one. You are not what happened to you, not the bruises or the broken promises. You are not the fear that kept you awake at night. You are not the tears you cried in silence while pretending everything was okay. You are so much more. Sometimes life convinces us that surviving is the same thing as living. But surviving and living are two different journeys. Living means waking up without fear, laughing without asking permission, speaking your truth without worrying about consequences. Living means knowing that love doesn't have to hurt to be real. If someone tells you they hurt you because they love you, I'm going to be honest, that isn't love. If someone tells you that you made them hit you, that isn't truth. If someone tells you that no one else will ever love you, that is not your future, baby. Those are lies that abusers whispers to keep people trapped. But today, yes, right here today, we're choosing to listen to a different voice. The voice that reminds you that you were created with purpose. That reminds you that your life has value. The voice that reminds you that peace is possible. And maybe today isn't the day you leave. And maybe today is simply the day you recognize that what you're experiencing isn't love. Maybe, just maybe today is the day you tell somebody. Or maybe today is the day you write down a plan. Or maybe today is the day you stop blaming yourself. And maybe today is the day you just believe that you deserve better. And sometimes just that one thought can change everything. To every survivor listening, I want you to hear me. You are not weak. You are strong than you know. You have survived days that you never thought you would make it through. You have carried pain that nobody saw, and you have smiled through the heartbreak. You have shown up while silently fighting battles that others couldn't even imagine or see. And you know what that means? That is strength, resilience. Real resilience isn't pretending you're okay. Real resilience is asking for help when your heart is tired. Real resilience is choosing healing over hiding. And real resilience is believing that your next chapter doesn't have to look like your last one. So don't allow someone's brokenness to become your identity. Don't allow someone's anger to become your burden. And don't allow someone's violence to steal your joy. Because the same person staring back at you in the mirror, the one who's been doubting themselves, questioning their worth, and forgetting how powerful they are, is still carrying a light. It may be dim today, but it hasn't gone out. So go ahead and protect that light. Go ahead and feed that light. Believe in the light, because one day your story won't be about how someone hurt you. Your story will be about how you healed, how you found your voice, how you reclaimed your peace, and you discovered that your life was never meant to be lived in fear. And when that day comes, someone else who feels trapped will hear your story, and they will find the courage to write an ending of their own. Because Love Palace family, choose peace, choose healing, choose yourself. Because love should never leave scars on your body or chains around your soul. And always remember, everyone has a superpower. Sometimes life buries it beneath pain, but pain never destroys what the divine has already placed inside of you. So keep believing, keep growing, keep healing, keep becoming, until the day you look back and realize you didn't just survive, you became unstoppable. I am praying for your peace. I am believing in your future. And until next time, continue walking in your purpose, continue protecting your peace, and never forget, your life matters. Your voice matters. You, yes, you, right there, matter. Okay, family. I want to thank everybody for coming to the Love Palace. Peace and love to everybody. Shout out to the replay game. Put your comments there. I'm interacting with y'all. I appreciate you all. And if you feel this live can help yourself or someone, I'm glad it reached you. Get the help that you need and know that you are not alone, that many people are suffering this. This conversation is only the beginning. Physical abuse or any abuse leaves visible and invisible scars, but healing is possible. Love should never require pain, fear, intimidation, or survival. And if today's conversation touched your heart, I invite you to continue this important conversation with us tonight at Where's the Love At? Tonight's topic is, does love hurt? Join us for the double stream, the live discussion here at the Love Palace in that big mouthpiece at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bring your questions, your experiences, and your voice, and together we'll continue learning and healing love and show what love truly looks like. And don't forget, remember, everyone has a superpower or superpowers. You have to just look inside and find yours. This is your episode of Daily Dose of Dee, and I hope to see you at Where's the Love At? Right after this, at those times that I mentioned. Until the next episode of Daily Dose of Dee, peace and love, and begin your healing journey today. Peace and love.
After an abusive relationship, I feel like a lot of times it's hard to walk away because you just be feeling like, okay, the first time it won't happen again, the second time it won't happen again, and then it become an ongoing thing, and you feel like I love this person and they doing that because they love me. It's very hard to walk away. You gotta be strong. You gotta tell yourself, like, for real, this is the last time, because it's going to get worse. It'll only get worse.
How do you heal after loving someone who turned out to be the devil in human form? And no, I'm not talking about somebody who simply made mistakes. I'm talking about the kind of person who left emotional damage behind, manipulation, lies, mind games, the kind of relationship where you stopped recognizing yourself. After relationships like that, people think healing starts with moving on, but it really doesn't. Because physically leaving someone doesn't automatically remove what they did to your nervous system. That's why even after it's over, you still overthink, still question yourself, still feel emotionally exhausted. And one of the biggest mistakes people make? trying to heal by finding somebody new too fast. Now the next person is paying for wounds they didn't create. Healing actually starts when you stop trying to make sense of someone committed to chaos. You heal by reconnecting with yourself, your routines, your confidence, your peace, your intuition, and slowly teaching your body that calmness is safe again. The real victory after a toxic relationship isn't getting revenge. It's becoming emotionally healthy enough to never entertain that kind of energy again.
You tapping, you boys.
Yeah. GoddessDee. Yeah.
We asking one question tonight.
Where the love?
Where's the love?
Is it him or is it us? He say she tripping, she say he don't show enough. Where's the love while we keep switching it up? When it won't honesty, men just won't trust.
Where's the love?
Everybody talking tough, but when the heart break, everybody hush.
Where's the love?
Maybe we both messed up.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Where is the Love? We're glad you tuned in.
Blessings on blessings. We appreciate you for sharing your time with us
You
today.
want peace but don't give respect. Then wonder why my attitude next. You say I'm emotional, I say you cold. You say relax, I say be bold. You say loyalty, I say time. Love ain't words if you never show sign.
Now he looking confused like,
what did I do?
now she looking right back like,
You know the truth, huh?
she looking right back like,
You know the truth.
no.
Where is the love?
Is it him or is it us? He say she tripping, she say he don't show enough. Where's the love while we keep switching it up? Women want honesty, men just want trust.
Where is the love?
Everybody talking tough, but when the heart break, everybody hush.
Where is the love?
Maybe we both messed up. Tune in tonight, let's talk about us.
He say I'm working hard just to build my name.
Fell love like she don't just love, she heals and keep. Let go, let flow. Daily dose of Dee. In the land is free. In the Love Palace, ships dock even key. Yeah, we guide the tide. GoddessDee. Whispering back when your heart needs reminding. D is divine, D is daily, D is love, a daily dose of